What's good, everybody? It is Tuesday, August 9th, 2022. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not close. Every other brand, if you can call them that, taking the summer off, don't see them anywhere. We're stacking. We're stacking cash, getting ready for the football season. Now, kind of a ho-hum day, but we tell you all the time, we break our betting down into weeks and days, and when you add it up, that's the long play. A little ho-hum. It's just like 5 and 6 in our straight plays yesterday. But as you know, that's a horrible day for us. That's how good we've been this summer on baseball and on soccer. Do not forget, NFL preseason week number 1. Last year, we absolutely crushed it with the unders until the unders don't hit. Be very, very careful. Turn on your notifications. Understand that our cappers will take you through the preseason right up to the regular season. Now, you guys ask me all the time, Coach, where do we get that merch from? Where do we get the Early Edge merch? Well, I'm about to give you a little extra added bonus. If you buy your merch before the season starts, 20% off. Use that promo code Early Edge 20 at checkout, and it will wipe 20% right off that total. All right, let's bring in the stars of the show because we've got an embarrassment of riches. A little bit of everything this morning. First and foremost, he is our OG. And I can't wait for the NFL season to start. Larry Hartstein, the maestro. I'm going to introduce you first this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Great to be here. Coach, we're less than a week away from the meetup in Nashville. I've yet to see the schedule, the court assignments, the pickleball, the tennis. It's Mike's home court. When do we get warm-up time on his courts? I'm just getting a little skittish about this because I don't think it's not seeming fair so far.
It's not seeming fair. It'll seem a lot less fair when you're actually standing on the court going, what did I get myself into? That's when it's really going to seem unfair. Next, live from Las Vegas, Sin City, Zach Attack. Zach Simony, good morning.
Good morning. I'm glad you mentioned preseason football starting up, Coach. I always like to give a couple of season-long futures props on a couple of shows here in August. Today is that day. I have a couple props lined up.
And I've been waiting for it. But guess what also I've been waiting for? More soccer plays. Everybody in the chat, where's Buckets? Where's Buckets? Well, there he is. Good morning, Buckets.
Good morning, everyone. Great to be here. We have our last round of Champions League qualifiers here this afternoon, so I'm excited to get into some soccer here.
Apparently, you didn't get the notice that you don't wear a white shirt on TV or streaming when you have white doors in the background. Apparently, you didn't get that. It's okay. Hey, you're new. I've only been on national TV for 20 years. Don't even worry about it. Buckets. You're good. All right, let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines. And today there is only one. There's a big-time winning streak in Baltimore that we only talk about, Maestro, once a year. Why is that?
Yeah, John Harbaugh, 20 straight preseason wins, 18-2 against the spreads. They open against Tennessee. Something interesting has been happening with this line. It was as high as Baltimore -5. Now we're seeing 3.5. The total also getting hit hard, down from 33.5 to 31.5. This is sharp money. This is not the public betting preseason games, days out in front of them. And John Harbaugh came out and said Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Marlon Humphrey, and he said you can extrapolate from that which other veterans are not going to play, any experienced starters. But then again, that's not enough to go against John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh has been a machine in preseason, but it just feels like with losing J.K. Dobbins last preseason has haunted them. 25 guys on IR last season. They had a losing record. I've got to believe that the only priority this preseason is going to be keeping the guys healthy. And it's just a big spread. When you talk about 4 or 5 points, when a total is 31.5, that's a lot of points. The Titans haven't made their plans clear. We know Derrick Henry won't play, of course, but it's just interesting to see all the money coming in on the Titans.
Well, it's a new year, and there's a lot of new bettors out there, and there's a lot of new young bettors out there, and maybe they don't pay attention to the history, Maestro. That could be possible. Who knows? Somebody in the chat says, would we ever get the entire gang together, Coach? Carlos asked that question. Well, next week in Nashville, most of the crew will be there. We're going to do some shows from there. I'm going to teach some lessons from there. But in the meantime, we've got picks that we've got to get to. But before we do that, we got to pay those pesky little bills. It's funny how that happens. Excuse me. Excuse me. My goodness. Let's hear from one of our incredible partners. And we are back. Time to get to our board for the day. And I have a feeling it's just a gut. It's just a gut. But I have a feeling today is going to be a great day. Last night on the AB3, we cast the Yankees and the Mariners over. And we're going to go right back to the well again today. Yankees over 7. The over. 100% of the time. When these two teams play this season, it cashes. 100% of the time. The last 2 games, the Yankees have scored 18 runs. I think that whole little narrative that they keep reading about, that they keep seeing on TV, it's starting to get to them a little bit. The Yankees want to put their foot down. And tonight, that spells runs. All right. Now, as Bucket said at the start of the show, we've got Champions League qualifying before we get into the seasons of the different leagues, and we are here for it. So, Buckets, you know, the first spot and the last spot, so important. Today is your day. Today is your day. You're up first.
Coach, you mentioned going back to the well, and that is exactly what we've done time and time again here with GNK Dinamo Zagreb. Their Champions League matchup versus Ludogorets Razgrad is this afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And these are still the only 2 teams that have scored in every single leg of this competition. Both teams to score is valued at -110 here for some reason, and those are odds that I have to take with 2 of the best scoring, worst defensive teams so far. Then going into our second matchup, we've got the Rangers, who are the best team in Scotland, taking on Union St. Gilloise, the best team in Belgium. The Rangers are down 0-2 in aggregate scoring and now get to play at home in front of their fans at Ibrox Stadium. Ibrox Stadium has been voted one of the top 3 scariest places to play in the soccer world. The home fans are crazy in the best kind of way, and this team loves to score at home. We're taking Rangers over 0.5 goals team total in the first half, which is just Rangers to score in the first 45 minutes of play at -125. Then going to our third and final Champions League pick here, we've got Midtjylland versus Benfica Lisbon. And out of any matchup in all of Champions League, this particular matchup has the widest gap in skill we've seen so far. Benfica won the first leg 4-1, and Midtjylland was lucky to score or really just get any shots. Lisbon is one of those teams that actually plays defense, so we normally avoid betting them, but here we're just looking at Benfica Lisbon money line at -130. All 3 of these games are UEFA Champions League games, and the first match starts up at 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time.
Look at you, Buckets. All the little things I told you to say, you said them. Now, Ben in the chat wants to hear me say Dynamo Zagreb. There you go. You don't think I can say these names too, Ben? Stop it. Just stop it. I sit around all day just saying these names. That's what I do all day. Now, I decided last night, gentlemen, that I'm no longer going to wish for stuff. We've reached August 9th, 2022, which means I'm only betting moving forward in baseball anyway on good teams because I think the bad teams have just started to walk away. And last night I kicked myself. I played the Mets total instead of the Mets on the run line. I will not make that mistake today. Mets on the run line, -150. A little juicy, I understand, but it's definitely worth the squeeze. We got Carrasco on the mound. He's been lights out. And the Reds, they're the Reds. Then play number 2, Braves. Again, good team. We're laying a half a run. It scares me a little bit, but it brings the juice down to -110 instead of -160 over the Red Sox. The Red Sox just aren't a good team. Charlie Morton's on the mound tonight. So this is all about the starting pitchers for me. That's why I'm playing the first 5 and not the entire game. So those are my 2 plays. Now, Zach, you talked about futures. You talked about you love to give them out 3-4 weeks before the season starts. That would be today. So, sir, I'm going to stand back. I'm going to write them down because they're sure to change as soon as you give them out. What do you got, big boy?
All right, Coach, today, just a couple of wide receiver yardage props. I'm going to do an over and an under. We'll start off with an under 550.5 yards on Julio Jones, the new acquisition for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is on Caesars. And it's just the same thing with Julio Jones, the serious regression over the last 4 years from 1,700 yards receiving, 1,400 yards receiving, 770 yards receiving, and last year with the Tennessee Titans, 434 yards receiving, third team in 3 years. What we've seen with Julio Jones is his body just can't hold up through an NFL regular season anymore. Played just 10 games 2 years ago, 9 games last year. I just don't see how that changes. Being on a new team and with Tom Brady, it's not easy getting passes thrown by Tom Brady, even though he makes it look easy. I don't think his body holds up. Maybe he doesn't even make it through the season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then an over on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Last year, we saw the rookie wide receiver come on strong. This is over 850.5 yards on DraftKings. And this is a receiver. I mentioned this last year with Jonathan Taylor. You like to take the guys that finished the year strong. Amon-Ra St. Brown, his last 5 to 6 games of last year, he had 560 yards receiving and 51 catches, just a complete domination. Jared Goff was eyeing him every target those final stretch of last year. I like that to carry over. I know some people are a little low on him because they now have rookie Jameson Williams and they also picked up DJ Shark, but I still like him to go over because Jared Goff has shown in the past with the Rams, when he eyes a wide receiver, he's going to stick to him. We saw Robert Woods have 3 strong years, averaged around 1,100 yards, and then Cooper Kupp as well with the Rams. So I'll take his over yardage prop.
Zach, I don't love this second play from you. I don't love it. I really, really love it. I love this play. I love when you look at players that start where they picked up from a year ago. That's a great way to go about it. Then your second play, or your first play rather, I think it's really important for people at home to understand that sometimes a team will sign a big name player who's well past their prime. And this is almost like stealing money on the Julio Jones prop. That's how easy this one is. And I'm glad that you found it, Zach. I'm glad that you found it, and I've already played it. So that damn thing's going to stare at me for the next 4 months, and I hate it. You think, I hate the future.
That's the best thing, Coach. That's the best thing.
You
got to go back and look at it in December.
Oh, what did I do? All right. Well, when we reach the final spot on the show, there's only one man who has earned that spot. Everybody else just rents it. Maestro, you're up, sir.
The St. Louis Cardinals are red hot. 7 in a row, just swept the Yankees, have won 9 out of 10, averaging 5.7 runs in that span. They had the day off after that intense series against the Yankees. They go to Colorado and they get to face Ryan Feltner, who's been up and back from Albuquerque, a 5.75 ERA, the whip at 1.45. Michaelis on the mound for the Cardinals, a 2.84 ERA over his last 7 starts. I mean, Arenado, the NL Player of the Week, coming back to Colorado. And Paul DeJong was demoted to AAA, but since he's come back to play shortstop for the Cardinals, 8 games, 10 RBIs, all of his hits have gone for extra bases, and that lets Tommy Edman get back to second base. The Cardinals are rolling. I don't want to lay the full game price, but I will play them on the first 5 run line, minus a half a run, and that's coming back at minus 125.
So many different creative ways to play a game, and we have all of them today in the show. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. Don't forget, we've got Early Edge in 5 coming up at 4 p.m. Eastern time. More best bets for the night in sports. All right, grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap courtesy of AB on the 1s and the 2s. Maestro, Cardinals first 5. Zach Attack, 2 futures. Get them in before the numbers change. Julio Jones, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Then buckets. 3 from the Champions League. I saw somebody in the chat said, I can't find them at Caesars or at FanDuel. They are there. I promise you. You just got to look for them under Champions League. Then if you're going to cash with me, we're going to do with these 2 plays today. Mets on the run line, Braves first 5 run line. Then 1 play from SportsLine itself. And if you're not a SportsLine member yet, what in the world are you doing? 1 low price a month, quantity. That's what we believe in. We're not going to charge you $1,000. No. AB, show your face. Where's that big old fat smile that I love? There it is. There it is. What's up? How you doing?
Hey, what's up? First off, let me say this. Maestro's price on that Cardinals is down to minus 125. I absolutely said on the email that I would change it, and then I absolutely forgot to do it. So that is on me. 100%. It's down to 125. So make sure everyone sees that. And Maestro, apologies, sir.
No biggie.
And hey, Coach, I've got one more nugget on preseason football to bring up.
What? Are you ruining AB's flow now? What? All right, Zach, You rarely speak up. So please, what do you have for us?
The Giants and Patriots, usually they play the last week of preseason, and it's happened the last 16 years. This year, they're going to play week 1 of preseason on Thursday. The Giants are -1. New head coach Brian Dable says he's going to play all his starters. But you also want to look at the Patriots here because the last 3 preseasons, non-COVID preseasons, they've drafted a rookie quarterback, and they have went 6-1 ATS their last 7 games in preseason. And they have another rookie quarterback in Bailey Zappi. They like to play these rookies a full half, and it's led to them having a great record ATS wise.
I gotta say, I don't hate that storyline. I gotta say, I was getting ready to go off, and now I'm not. 6-1. Matt Jones was a quarterback last year in the preseason. Came out, they played him a lot. All right, that actually will help us cash tickets. That, buckets, is how you ruin a flow properly. Now, AB, please continue.
Yes, sir. Hey, you know what? I was with it. I think Zach Attack's all over it right there. All right.
I know.
So the AB pick 3 today. Our first play, understand. Okay, we're going to go Angels team total over 3. It's -151. It's juiced 2. Understand your risk tolerance here today. All right. It's Shohei Ohtani day. They've scored 3 or more runs in 4 of its last 5 games. Oakland giving up 4.4 runs per game over its last 7. I understand it was 1-0 last night. This might not be the play for everybody, but if you want to take a shot, this is a good one to take a shot with. Next, we're going to go the alternate over 8 between the Blue Jays and the Orioles. The over is 5-0 between these two this season. And fun fact, the Orioles are 70% to the over in Kyle Bradish starts it. He's a good pitcher, but if it ain't broke, we're not going to fix it. In our last play, the Guardians team total over 4. Just prepare yourselves. This game could get ugly in a hurry. The Tigers are starting Tyler Anderson, who is 0-5 on the season with a 6.75 ERA. Opposing teams against Tyler Anderson have scored 4 or more runs in 6 straight games. And in the last 5 between these two, Cleveland's averaging 5.2 runs per game.
Now, as I look at our record from yesterday, 3 of the 5 wins came where, AB?
From right here.
That's all I'm saying. Thank you, AB.
Great show, boys.
Appreciate
Coach,
you.
you know, if I ever played in the majors, I would want AB to broadcast my games, calling Kyle Bradish a good pitcher, even though he's going over the total on that game. The guy's got a 6.55 ERA. The whip is over 1.6. He's just as bad at home as he is on the road, but I appreciate AB being so kind.
I mean, we're going to say the same thing about your skills on any said court because you're going to play in California and then you're going to take your game to Nashville. Will it travel? Yeah, we'll have to wait to see. Oh, Buckets, it's too bad you're not going to be there in person because sometimes, as nice as I am, I got to teach lessons. And next week is one of those days. All right, another great show. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. And we're going to cash tickets together. But with that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. AB on the 1s and the 2s. 3-0 yesterday. Buckets, get your picks in now. Those are afternoon games here in the States, evening overseas. Zach Attack, get those futures in. And, of course, the Maestro, always bringing it strong, focused, serious, ready. May not be enough, though. May not be enough. I am the coach. Tell all your friends you want to be valued, you want to have fun, you want to laugh just a little bit. But always meet at the pay window, high-fiving. There's only one brand. We like to call it the Early Edge. Good luck.